The year was 1988. The fourth entry into the immensely popular Nightmare on Elm Street series marked a notable change musically. The MTV generation was now in full swing, and Elm Street 4 embraced both its cultural influences and its new variety of international music. The soundtrack album for Part 4 is one of, if not the best in the series, featuring bands such as the Divinyls, Go West, Blondie, and a few lesser known bands that provided some very memorable music. But when watching the film, you notice that some of the most memorable tracks didn't actually make it to the soundtrack album. There were some weird choices made for this soundtrack. Whether these were down to time restraints, cost, or licensing remains unknown. However, in this edition of Missing Movie Music, we're going to highlight some of those missing tracks. I understand that albums of the time were limited to the amount of time that you could fit onto a 12-inch LP. However, to start with, there are 2 or 3 strange entries onto this album which didn't make any sense being included over some of the missing pieces. First of all, we have Blondies Ripper to Shreds. This is a great track itself, however it doesn't even appear in the film. In the diner scene with Alice, we instead hear Blondie's song In the Flesh playing in the background. The Go West song on this album, Don't Be Afraid of Your Dreams, doesn't appear in the film either. What is used though, seems to be an instrumental arrangement of the tune for the gearing up sequence before the finale of the film. This track is not available anywhere else other than the movie itself. Another strange choice as the soundtrack's final track is a piece from the score. Whilst this obviously was a big part of the film, I found this an odd addition to the soundtrack, as a score album was also produced. So there are 3 tracks on here that could have made way for some of the music that was missing. Most notably missing from the album is a song you would have thought that would have been the opening track, Nightmare by Tuesday Knight. Singer-songwriter Tuesday Knight was casted in the film to replace Patricia Arquette in the role of Kristen Parker. Whilst filming the movie, she suggested to director Rennie Harlin, who was previously unaware of her musical career, that she record a song to be used on the film's soundtrack. Both her and her writing partner came up with the track Nightmare. Upon arriving on set the following day, she spotted Rennie in the parking lot and called him over to her car. She played him the song that she had recorded. He liked it and took the tape off of her. That was the last she heard of it, and not being too business savvy at the time, thought nothing of it to negotiate a deal for the licensing rights. Upon attending the premiere, she was surprised to hear that her song actually opened the movie. The song never got any sort of release until almost 30 years later, where she struck a deal with New Line Cinema to release it as a limited release via her website. Amazingly, there are 3 other tracks missing from the soundtrack which are prominent in the film. Sinead O'Connor's Hands on Me was heard preceding Debbie's death. This song also played on the end credits of the movie. Anything by Dramarama. This song played over the sequence showing Rick practicing his martial arts. The single of this song featured Freddie on its artwork, but also failed to appear on the soundtrack album. The song was released on 7-inch vinyl. In the build-up to Joey's waterbed death, we hear Billy Idol's song Fatal Charm. Billy Idol had also appeared on another horror film in 1985's Demons. Fatal Charm was the B-side to Billy Idol's single Don't Need a Gun in 1988.
Breakfast time, I watch it for a little bit more, and then about lunch when I feed the fish, I feed the fish and watch them watch it. I'm coming in from the storm, get it, mom. There's a skin and bone and teardrops you down on that. Yes, I lived that life, lived it true. I wanna be your pride and joy. Won't you treat me, won't you treat me like
The track used to introduce the diner that Alice works at, Pride and Joy by Joe Lamont, was also missing. This track is believed to have been created specifically for the film, as it has had no release as a single, nor appeared on any of the artist's albums.
I was sitting there waiting at a subway station.
And finally, a song that didn't appear in the movie, but was used as a promotional tool for the film, was the Fat Boys' Ready for Freddy. This song featured Robert Englund appearing as Freddy, both in the song itself and in the music video. With all of these missing from the original soundtrack, it would be good if we could get an expanded release. Most of the tracks involved can be found elsewhere. However, tracks such as the instrumental version of Don't Be Afraid of Your Dreams can only be found on the film itself. Thanks for watching, and see you next time on Retro Reels.
Hey, Doc, this is it.
Great Scott!
I watch MTV every morning when I get up for a couple hours. And then right around breakfast time, I watch it for a little bit more. And then about lunch when I feed the fish, I feed the fish and watch them watch MTV. And then about supper time, me and the dog feedback, we watch MTV. You can never have too much structure in your life.